Hi, this is Dave with the Jefferson Way, and today we're going to be talking and looking at how to use the Strong's Concordance to discover political correctness. Now, the first thing we need to do, if you haven't used Strong's Concordance before, is to do a little Google search. And the best way to do it is type in Strong's Concordance, and here it is right here. Okay, this brings us up to all the different various Strong's Concordance that are available. And the best way to do is to take and check out the different various ones for yourself. Now, but my personal opinion is I like this one on the top, which is from www.elia.com. And the reason I like it is because it immediately comes up to allow me to begin my search. I don't have to look through all kinds of advertising or anything like that. But I think advertising is good, and I think they probably should have a little bit more on here to help them pay for their service. But there is a little bit of an ad there. But anyway, today let's take a look at the word, because that's what our concern is words and how they affect our lives and through political correctness and through everyday living. Okay, when we search for the word on Strong's Concordance, it shows us every place where the word is located. And also, it gives us a ID number. This here ID number indicates the Hebrew word that this particular word is referring to. Okay, now the thing is, if we scroll all the way to the bottom, and you have a certain passage that you're looking to identify and understand what the meaning of a word is, in this case it's word, all of the places where it's located in the Bible are listed at the very, very bottom. Now, when you go to the New Testament, these are no longer Hebrew words, but they're Greek words. And then naturally the definition will change, and it's not going to be a Hebrew word, but it will be a Greek word. And that's identified by the G in front of the number, given the location and the exact word that has been translated into the word. Okay, now let's just go back a little bit to our Hebrew to understand a little bit how this thing works. Now, the word, okay, for example, I like this little area because of the fact that it shows us three different words. And it is totally inclusive of what happens when we have different politically correct words and how this thing actually changes. Okay, you have three different Hebrew words that represent our English word, 1697 and then 6310 and 565. Let's begin by going and looking at this particular one here. Okay, now this particular word is called dabar, or davar. It's a vav is what it is, which is actually a V, but that's how it's been molded and turned into a politically correct letter for us of a B and a V, both. We have two letters that come from this particular Hebrew letter. Okay, so dabar is the actual word in Hebrew that is used for this. And if you come down here, it tells you exactly how many times it's used in the Hebrew Old Testament. This one here is used 807 times. Also, the same Hebrew word is used for thing 231 times, matter 63 times. It represents acts 51 times, chronicles 38 times, saying 25 times, and commandment 20 times. And there's a miscellaneous use of 204 times of this word dabar throughout the Hebrew text. Okay, so that just gives you an idea of how many different words that are developed from our English language from this one word dabar. But if you really wanted to take and find out what this word actually means in the Hebrew, you would take and break this down into actually two words. This is da, meaning, I don't exactly know what the meaning of it is, but it is one word, and bar is the other one, like bar mitzvah. Bar mitzvah, it sort of shows that the person, whether it be male or female, is a son of the teachings of the Hebrew law. Okay, but the thing is that there is a foundation for the word here in our English language, but we don't think about that when we see that word. We just think of a word as a word. Okay, let's go back, and see what we're looking at here again. Word. Okay. Now here the word is also our English word is used as 6310 in the Hebrew language. Okay, and now it's meaning pay. Okay, and this is probably a single word, and it's used as a translated word only 22 times. But as mouth 340 times, commandment 37 times, edge 35 times, according 22 times, whole 6 times, and end 3 times, appointment 2, portion, tenor, sentence, and miscellaneous 32 times. So as you can see, once again, our word goes back to, that we understand as word, goes back to this Hebrew word of pay, which if you want to get a true meaning of what it actually says, now usually the most commonly used will give us somewhat of a true identity of the word itself. But if you go back to H6284, which it says is the foundation for this word, which once again, pa'ah is probably 2 different words. I'm sure it is. I know is one word and pa probably means something else, to get the root meaning of what this actually means. Now, that's been interpreted into the English as meaning scatter into corners, and it's only used 1 time. But if you look at the word on either side of this, or you can do this without having the physical book, by going to words on either side of the actual number of 6284, maybe from 6280 to 6288, to find more of a specific idea of what is actually being meant by this particular word. Okay, now let's go back and look at one more. Okay, whoops, I keep wanting to move it. Okay, this one here, 565, Hebrew 565. Okay, now we have Imra, which I know Ra has a separate meaning of itself, because if you look at in the Bible, when recorded in Matthew, when Jesus talks, and he talks about Rakah. Okay, Rakah is 2 different words. Okay, but the thing is, in order to find out exactly what that means, once again, it has to be broken down into these 2 words to have an understanding of the 2 words to its actual meaning. But the thing is, here it's used as a word 29 times, speech 7 times, and commandment 1. So the thing is, whenever you see the word commandment, a lot of times the original word that was used for there is not a commandment, but the word could be imra, davar, or the other one that we went to, pay. So the thing is, its meaning is very, very loose, and oftentimes when it's translated into different languages and into different versions, the original understanding gets diverted. And this is the way political correctness comes to be, by taking and putting a new definition upon an old word, and it becomes altered. So the thing is, when we are reading what we do in the Bible, we see an altered understanding of what the actual intent of those words were when God gave them to, like in Genesis, and then in Moses, where Moses recorded the law. To really understand this, we have to go to the root of the root word. Otherwise, what we're doing is we're just talking and saying things that are politically correct that may have actually no value whatsoever. But the thing is, the historians have used political correctness to pass down through the ages to where we are now. And sometimes I believe that much of the confusion that we have lies within this understanding of politically correct words, rather than the substance of the real words that were actually spoken and recorded in the Bible itself. Now, Jefferson, because he spoke 6 different languages, had a good idea of the Greek, which is in the Hebrew, and I believe that's why he ended up coming up with the the Life and Morals of Jesus of Nazareth, where he just focused specifically on the Gospels, because he could see all the corruption that was in the rest of the recordings of the rest of the epistles and everything that was there, because he just read specifically the Greek language. He was very, very intelligent, and by seeing these different words, because the same thing happens when we're doing the Greek. If we take the word in Greek, it may mean 2 to 3, maybe 4 or 5 different things, the word itself. And Jefferson was, like I say, a very intelligent man, and what he would do is take and be able to see this because he spoke so many different languages. And by speaking different languages, it gives you a little different insight on many, many different things that we don't have. But now today, in our lives today, we do have Strong's Concordance on the internet, so anybody that has a computer or a cell phone or anything can take and look up a word to find its original intent. Okay? Well, I thank you very much for listening today, and I hope that this has been somewhat of a help for you in trying to understand political correctness. Once again, thank you.